Hello, my name is Caleb Brady, and today I will be going over my final project for CISS 220, Intro to Web Design and Development. So before I actually show the actual website, let's go into seeing how the sausage is made with the actual code. We're going to start off by looking at the code for the home page, then we're going to go to the other pages I got here, and then their style sheets too. For the website, I used Visual Studio Code, which I haven't used since I did my Java class last year. But it worked out pretty fine for making websites too. I just had to install a simple SFTP program, and I was able to make websites a-okay. So first off, we got the home page right here, which you can see. We get the title of the page. This is linking it to the style sheet. And over here we got the icon for the website. I put that on each of the pages. Something we didn't really learn in the programming class. I looked it up. It wasn't too difficult. So then we move on to the body. I use a lot of headers just as like normal different types of text. I found that a lot easier than just doing like either like divs with different classes or paragraphs with different classes or stuff like that. Because I have a lot of different stylized text in my on the site. So I got the header of this. This is always going to be like the header. Then just below the header 2. That's always going to be remaining there on each page. Then I got like a little bit on each page, just briefly explaining the page. And here we got the main menu here. We got one for the home page, then PC games, PS4 games, and Xbox One games. In case anyone watching is a bit confused, the main idea of my website I have right now is to display all the different types of games I can play with different people. So all the games I can play with different people who play on PC, which I mostly play on. All the games I can play on people who play on PS4. I also have a PS4, so I can play with them too. And then all the games I can play with people who have Xbox. So that's the main idea of the site, because I was kind of tired of not having like one place to go where I would be able to figure out, hey, you have an Xbox, what games can we play? So this helps me narrow that selection down, and it's also helps me with my final too, because it's an idea for my final. So then I use a lot of columns in the website too. So right now I have 2 columns here. One is going to be so the homepage is going to display 2 of my different profiles. One for Steam, which I use to play video games on PC, and one for my PlayStation account. Steam was really easy because Steam already provides you a way of linking people to your Steam account. But with PlayStation, it was a bit more difficult because they don't have an official site, so I had to use kind of like it was kind of like a fan site, but it's a site that just about everyone uses, because PlayStation doesn't automatically provide that service unless you also have a PlayStation account and you're also logged in. But this site is also designed for people who don't already have a PlayStation account. And on each of the websites, I added background music. All the music and images, there's one image that aren't owned by me, are owned by a company called Atlas. So that's what I did there. And then if we go into so that's the first page. The second page is the longest page because I own a lot of PC games. If you go back to the index page, you'll see the games owned is 677. It's actually, I'm not 100% sure if that number is actually accurate. It's hard to tell. Like the official website will say one thing when the actual amount of games you own will actually be different. Looking at a different source I have here, That was actually that's from February earlier this year. It's saying 710 games I own, and I think by now it's probably closer, if not over 800 games I own on the PC. And I kind of had to limit it to games I only have installed on my PC, which is still, as you can see, to like the right here, which is showing you an overview of the entire page. It's still a very, very long list. So we got like a little tidbit before, then the name of the site, um, the header again. Oh, here's linking to the style sheet, and then the site image. I didn't link them internally. I rather linked them to like an actual website that contained the images, which for some reason made it a lot easier. For some reason, sometimes when I linked it internally, it would work, or sometimes it wouldn't work. It was always very iffy when I linked it internally, but this works fine too. Um, so then I also declared here that on the left I had a list of games that people had to own in order to play with me, and also because Steam offers a service where you don't certain games people can just connect to your PC via a service offered by Steam and play games with you. I had a list for 3 games that people don't have to own that I already own that they can play with me. Um, and then I just added like a space between them to break it up a bit, rather than doing that in the style sheet. I don't know why I didn't do that in the style sheet and just have these as 2 different. I think it was just when I was making it at the time, it just seemed like the easier thing to do. And I mean, it works and it looks fine, and I like the way it looks too. And then of course we got the links to the different pages here, the menu links, and then the music, which is on loop and autoplays. For some reason, the autoplay is a bit weird. Like sometimes it will load when you are just typing in a URL, and other times you have to click a link inside the page in order for the music to load. I wasn't really able to figure out. I think that was just a bug in the system because it didn't, when I was going over it, it didn't seem like anything popped up that would cause it to only work sometimes. And so then I got 2 different columns here. For the 2 different columns, I set them up as slightly different colors too, but you should be able to also tell um, which ones are which. And for each of them, they're all just different links. I link them to the website where you can buy the games or check out like overviews of the games too. Um, so you will just be able to click on the names and it will bring you to those pages. And as you can see, it's a very long list. Yeah. And then it's practically the same thing for the consoles pages for the PS4 and PC and the Xbox. I mean, let's move it off. Seeing the sausage still being made in the process. I'm a bit dyslexic, so that always. Actually, let me check. I just love dyslexia. Anyway, sorry about that. So here's for the PS4 games. We got the style sheet link, the page icon, a little declaration, a list of PS4 games that you'll be able to play with me, and then the menu, music, looping again, and then a list. These lists are a bit shorter. These link to the PlayStation pages. My bad. Where you can buy the games. There's 2 games. There's Minecraft. There's another game. I don't think it's a PlayStation. What's the other one? I think it's in the Xbox, so we'll see it in the Xbox one too. But there's Minecraft, which has like its own big site where you can. There's different versions of the game. There's like a Java edition. There's a Bedrock edition. So I just put that there, so it would, and because that's like more of the page where you will buy Minecraft. at least in my experience. And then just the list goes on all the way to the end, where it's just the same there. And then finally, you got the Xbox games, where you get this. You get me being dyslexic again, can't spell my own name. And then you get the linking it to the style sheet, and then you get the icon, the headers, the declaration or the tidbit saying list of Xbox games you can play with me. Then you got the menu, and then the music, and then you got the column. This column is a lot shorter. There's a lot less games I can play with people on Xbox, which is a bit disappointing, but I mean, it is what it is. Oh no, I remember the other game that was different length than the others was Call of Duty, which I had on a different system or like a different launcher, rather than most of these games are just on Steam itself. So that's why that link was different. So anyway, those are the pages I have set up. I have a style sheet, 3 style sheets actually. I got one for the home page. I got one for the PC page. One for the home page, and then one for the console page, and then one for the PC page. The reason I did this is, well, there's a few different reasons. Some of the texts were set up different, and mainly it was because the columns were sometimes stylized differently. And so I stylized them in different sheets, and you'll see that in a bit. So we'll start with the home page. So we just got a little thing here. Then we got the header set up. We got the color, the font size, and I just like that as like the fantasy look, look as the font. I just like the way it looked as a header. We also set up the margin so it's like positioned correctly. The border, there's a border around it too. You'll see. I was looking for a specific border style, or like a way it could look, but it wasn't really anything we learned in class or something I was able to find elsewhere, unfortunately. Header 2 is kind of a similar situation. It's smaller though, as you will see. I kind of wanted them to get a diagonal look for the border. You'll see what I was going for when I look at the page. And then we got, so header 1, header 2. A lot of the header 3, 4s are just, well, header 3 is like the main text, and I didn't really do much with that. Header 4 is a lot where a lot of the links were. For some reason, like sometimes it was weird. The link text I had to set up twice. One for the link texts, one for the just the header 4, in order to get the borders working properly, so they would all line up properly too. So you'll see that in a bit. I also have it. I'm gonna skip. I'll go back to that part, but I wanted to show here for the links. They change based off of their status. Like if they're just a fresh link, they'll just be black. If they're visited, they'll be slightly red. If you hover over them, they will underline. So the ones that aren't hovered over will just look like normal text until you hover over them. H6 is going to be the footer. I tried looking, but I wasn't able to find a way to get it so it always like displays at the very, very bottom. Like it displays at the bottom, but it doesn't display at the very, very bottom. I was trying to fool around with that a bit, but I mean it works for what it is, and it's just like a little copyright thing. Because the music and images aren't owned by me, even though I'm not even making any money off of this. Just a little website I made for myself and some of my friends and my final project, so hopefully I pass. And for the home, I also stylized the images. This might actually be transferred because originally I had it as one style sheet, and I just moved the style sheet over and change up slightly things rather than starting a whole new style sheet. So those image stylizations might still be there, but they don't actually do anything. But for here on the home page, they do something, because I also have my profile pictures set up on each of the profile tabs. It's just so like people like if for some reason the links weren't working, they would be able to go to the look up my profile and see, oh look, that's the image of that person, and it must be the right profile. Or even just to confirm, if they do click the link, the image lines up, so it must be the right profile. And then just H5. I'm trying to remember what H5 is. Oh no, I think H5 was something I just didn't end up using. I forget what I was trying to use it for, but I think it was actually something I didn't. I might have used it for a different sheet. Div is what I use for the columns, so you'll see that in a bit. And then just normal paragraph text, which I also used for the columns. So divs are the columns themselves, and this is stuff, and H4 is stuff inside the columns. And then H5 is also more text. I'm trying to remember, this is a line to the left, so it must be the text. Let's see what we got here. Oh, H5 must have been text I didn't use too. Well, anyways, I think that just kind of shows how throughout the website process I was going through many different stages of trying to figure out how this would work. So there's still some leftover code, but all the style sheets are generally the same. I think one of the things I did, probably the only key difference, is going to be the column. So the div area, like the column count, because for PC you see I got the two different columns because they're the two different the ones that you need to own to play with me, and the ones that you don't need to own to play with me. And then if you go to div here, I got the column count 2 here because that's going to be the two profiles. And then if you go to div here, there's no column count because for the config ones, there's only one. There's only going to be one list. So let's go here. We'll type in the website. And unfortunately it didn't work, so if I just click this again, there you go, the music starts playing. If you go here, you can click this, that brings you to the Steam page. And then if you click the PlayStation one, that brings me to the PlayStation page. You see the icons are similar here. And you can see the text here has changed, and if you go here, you underline them, and you can see like I wanted that so that was like diagonal here, like a diagonal line, but I wasn't really able to find anything like that, unfortunately. Go to the PC games. The music is different for each page. It's all from the same company who actually made the profile page. It's from a game that I like to play a lot on my PlayStation. You got game counts here too. Those aren't linked to anything though, like it doesn't update the more games I get. But yeah, go here, and if you bring up different pages, you can see the links update. And then you got the different store pages. The same with PS4, you got the one, and you can see what's the two columns for these. You got the left one for the games that you need to own to play with me. On the right, you got the games that you don't need to own to play with me. And then here, you can go here. See this? All the different PlayStation games. And then finally, we got the Xbox page. And you can see that work loads just fine. So yeah, that is my website. I hope you enjoyed, and it was a pleasure to be in this class. I absolutely loved it. Making websites has been something that I've always thought about doing, especially since my dad makes websites for a living. And it was definitely fun learning how to make these, like, even though they're not really that glamorous websites, it was still fun learning the basics of programming a website. So, thank you.